G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's video on YouTube. I'm actually going to be doing some backyard gardening today. And I'm going to be watering my flowers and other plants alike today. Right, here we go. I'm going to start doing like so. Whoa! Yay! It's not often I tend to start videos like this. Normally I tend to walk out from the tool shed or walk out next to the tool shed just to go ahead and start looking at my backyard garden. But today I'm going to be doing a bit of transplanting. More specifically, my calendula seedlings. Oh yeah. It's looking good so far. Looking good indeed. And yes, it's a nice, beautiful sunny spring day outside. It's springtime where I live. It's probably around mid to late. I think it's late April at the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and start watering some plants today, which is going to be relatively interesting because we've got a lot of mixed factors going on here. We've got a pumpkin seedling. Now this one here, I actually transplanted this buddy around Saturday of last week. But unfortunately, this seedling is probably going to die out. So maybe the soil temperature at the moment during April is not the most ideal. I'll probably just have to wait for at least around May or June. Yeah, I'm just going to water this guy and let it grow and let it die. Yeah, I think I've made a total big utter mistake just to transplant that pumpkin really early. They really do require relatively warm temperatures, I suppose so, relatively long of sunlight and relatively warmer temperatures just to actually grow. Obviously, I would have been much more better if I would have placed it on a much more sunny location. I'm just going to water these white flowers like so. Yeah. What do I put so much into these things? These will endure quite a long period without rain. So I don't know if we're going to have a massive drought during, this week and also into next week, because obviously we are going to have periods of sunlight. Lots and lots of sunlight. I did water these plants earlier on. There's a lot of seedlings, calendula seedlings and sunflower seedlings that I've just transplanted. But I'm going to start transplanting quite a few seedlings, which will be fairly nice to know. I'm just going to water, just randomly, just random places, I suppose, maybe around here, I think. Wouldn't that be great, I suppose, Right, where else should I water? Maybe I should water around this meadow again, although I think I've just placed too much water. As this sounds, hey, I'm just adding way too much water to feed my meadow plants. I think that's probably about it. Probably enough. I could have just saved. Yeah, I could have just basically saved for the calendula seeds or seedlings that I'm about to transplant. I'm just going to put it right inside of my backyard garden shed, tool shed of it's called. Could have just said backyard shed or tool shed, much more earlier than usual. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab the calendula seedlings. Okay, looks like I'm finally back. Right, there they are. I've just got some fresh calendula seedlings. We've actually got quite a lot of, look at that. This one right here, that's a lot of calendula seedlings. But this one here, this is the one that I've been transplanting a lot. And actually, I need to go ahead and get my gloves on. Oh yeah, everyone loves it when I've got the gloves on. Oh my goodness me, let me just show it through the camera. It's not that bad. I mean, it's not the best, but it's neither that bad, nor the fact it's neither the best. But I'm doing my best to try and get my gloves on and get my game on. Here we go. Putting it on like so. Yes, right. So, with the calendula seedlings, I'm going to focus on there's a lot of weeds on that thing, and there's a lot of old compost made from old roots. I think you can still reuse that. Of course, you can still scrunch up and crunch up some of the old roots from other plants, and maybe this would probably help a bit of the compost that's already sticking on to the old roots that's actually already attached. Yes, at least it's actually looking good so far. I'm just going to add as much calendula seedling oomph onto it, because I'm going to pretty much add some more compost. So I'm just going to add some more fresh compost into it, of course. That should look really nice. Hopefully it's in this one here as well. And what I should try and do is, instead of using a watering can, I'm actually going to use the garden tap. And I'll be right back to fill these guys up, because I don't want to damage my tablet's performance. I'll be right back. I'm just going to water the plant pots. Right, I'm now finally back, and this is what I've been doing. I've finally watered these two plant pots together. Remembering, it really depends on what plant am I going to really plant with. It's the calendula seedlings. Right, I'm going to pretty much grab a seedling. I'm going to choose a seedling from this old section right here, and I'm actually going to grab, maybe, let me just say, this small one right here. Maybe this one will work. If this one is dead, I suppose so. I do try to keep as much root as possible. Oops, there's a problem. I think this one's dead. I think if it's not sitting on compost, I'm pretty sure if you got a plant pot, well, let's just say if you got a plant that is being transplanted, has just been extracted out from the compost tub and has not got compost, it's more likely to die than just having to have compost in it. So maybe this one is probably a bit of a fail. Let's try the other one here. I want to see if we're going to get some good... Let's see some new contacts going on this one here. Try this other small one. Okay, we've got some mortality rates with the calendula. What is going on with me? Now, I mean, they do look healthy, but I'm getting some high mortality rates with the calendula seedlings. Okay, this one is a much nicer one to transplant, and I'm just going to probably sit this on the top like so. It's already been watered, so I may not need to water it again because I've already watered this thing like twice. And then I'm going to grab the other big calendula seedling, making sure I'm not killing either this or that. Yeah, the real troublesome factor is because there's actually way too many calendula seedlings, that's actually going to cause a bit of a confrontation with many other seedlings, like this one right here. Oh, is this one surviving? It looks like it has, but I think that one might probably die. I think if there's a lot of calendula seedlings that have already been transplanted closer together than usual, then there's a bit of a fight. There's a big, dense congregation. It makes it really hard to transplant. Yeah, they're very so tightly packed. So the brightness is actually being very finicky because of the wind outside at the moment. Right. I'll just have to find my way to try and... Yeah, this grove is actually driving me crazy. Right. We've got a couple of these. At least I've got two. I think two is better than just having one, which will hopefully help. Pretty sure two will be a reassuring number just to, you know, help the calendula seedlings. Oh, one of them has died. One of them has certainly passed away. That's not good to know. But at least one looking calendula seedling, that will also be on its, you know, hopefully it won't be on its last legs. That will be on its next legs. Hopefully, I suppose, hey? And I'm just going to go ahead and put these guys into the sunlight. I'll let these grow for a time being and see how they go, because I do know that I've got a big hunch of stuff to get through. I just need to make some room first, because I need to put these calendula seedlings out to the sunlight. That thing there is probably going to die out, I think. Yeah, I think that pumpkin seedling is most likely going to die, because for what I'm probably presuming, that pumpkin seedling is highly exposed to some really cold air. And I think it's mainly because, well, we're still in springtime, but more notably, once, you know, when you've got clear skies during springtime, you know, especially during winter. You know, I think in the summer it stays really hot, and in the winter it stays really, really cold. You know, when you've got no clouds, it makes it really difficult to either stay warm or to stay cool. That's the main atmospheric aspect about different seasons and how they can really play out during clear days. Okay, these calendula seedlings have been nicely grown by me, so I've actually got a big collection of calendula seedlings, and yeah, it looks pretty cool, isn't it? We've got a lot of calendula seedlings, lots of sunflower seedlings. There's actually about 4 which have been nicely transplanted, but I am looking forward to try and transplant as many other seedlings. That one there is another. Okay, let's look at what that seed is. That is a bean. I think that is a seed from a. That is a bean seedling. I think it's a broad bean. Unfortunately, I think I might have placed way too much compost, and I think I might have killed its germination process, which is not that good to know. But nevertheless, hey, we've got this one here. That one's actually doing much better, I think. And I'll hopefully try and transplant that broad bean into action. We've got a lot of different critters. We've got bees and wasps outside here. It seems like that the wasps have been awake, strange enough. Of course, wasps often tend to occur later than bees, which is quite nice to know. But yay, you know what? We've got a lot of calendula seedlings, a lot of other seedlings like the sunflower seedlings. Hopefully they should start to grow nicely. These ones here, I'm not sure what these are. Yeah, that looks quite good so far throughout the rest of my gardening progression, as I'm going to start to, think of some really great ideas of what I can grow as the months progress. Oh, there's another one here, eh? Another plant pot. Maybe I should probably fill this one up with more compost. But, do you know what? I'm actually going to finish off by getting another seedling, another calendula seedling, just to, risk my life from just adding more seedlings, and that's it. I'm not going to put on gloves just because I'm going to stop there, I suppose, because that's probably a lot of transplanting work, I suppose. I'm also going to reuse these, which have been, the compost can also be used. It can also be either old or new. You can also reuse the compost once that plant has already died. That's really good to know. I'm just going to add some more fresh compost into it. And I'm just going to put it with some, I'm just going to water it down like so. And I'll go and get one of the calendula seedlings, hopefully. Right, I'll finally water this guy. There you go. Nicely watered. And I'm still covered in compost. Right, I'll just go and get a seedling. I'll be right back. Actually, one thing that's kind of spooked me at the moment, I've got some sunflower seedlings, which has kind of spooked me a bit, and then there's also some calendula seedlings. I'm going to go for the calendulas just because there's way too many of them, but I'm not sure how big or small they're going to grow, I suppose. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick the furthest one up, which is nice and big and healthy. Hopefully, well, the roots will grow down below, I suppose. So they are going to help the plant to grow, but yeah, this is what I'm doing, I suppose. It's actually there to help the roots. Hopefully once the roots absorb so much water, this will be a really healthy thing to do. This looks good. I'm just going to probably take it outside, but I'm just going to wash my hands. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and wash my hands. I'll be right back in a sec. And there you go, I'm finally back. I'm just going to put these seedling packs outside into the backyard garden. There's actually quite a lot of that going on here, eh? I've got a lot of calendulas, and sunflower seedlings, as I like to call it. Actually, the sunflower seedling packs, there don't seem to be that many. Quite weird, isn't it? I think I'm sort of thinking maybe the other flowers I like to grow is either cornflowers and rudbeckias. They're quite nice and simple to grow, aren't they? There you go. They do look really nice. At least I haven't broken anything. At least I've done such a splendid job just to raise and to nurture these flowers. I've got a lot of flowers to get with, I suppose, eh? Man, oh man, I tell you what, my backyard garden is totally going to be infested. I mean, I'm not being childish, but there's a lot of plants to grow with. Anyways, let me just straightforward sum up the video with quite a few flowers that are just flowering at the moment. We've got some dandelions here. And we've also got some pink flowers. Lovely, is this a specklewood butterfly? Not sure the butterfly enthusiast might actually know about that. I might as well go closer to it. I can just see it right over in the middle. I won't scare the damn thing, but it looks pretty. There's more dandelions here. They are quite useful in so many ways. Oh, the butterfly just fluttered. And it's gone, I suppose, hey? And then we've also got these weird pink flowers, which I've totally forgotten the name of. And there's more white flowers on that plant pot as well too. Pretty nice, isn't it? Right. I'm just going to go back to... Oh, and there's another plant. Right, I might as well just have to sum up and finish off the whole video because I'm not going to try and use that plant pot and think about transplanting just because I don't want to risk my life of just getting my hands dirty and things like that. But there you go. We've got a lot of calendulas being transplanted. Oh, and one thing I've also noticed, there is a bluebell. Pretty unusual to have a Spanish bluebell growing in my backyard garden. Very, very nice. And let's check out the other plants. Like so. In fact, I've actually got a few bluebells here. There's actually one or two of these. There's another one right here. That's actually growing. I'm pretty sure that's what Spanish bluebells look like once they are growing, I suppose, hey? Oh, man. This is actually quite wonderful seeing so many different types of seedlings growing outside. Hey, we've got some bluebells here. But there's nothing coming out from these bluebells. I'm probably presuming that these have probably been affected by my diggings and things like that. They probably might have died out, I suppose. Which is great. There's more exposure to some sunlight here. I could probably plant something out there, you know, amongst the leaf litter. Right, I'm going to leave this video here, eh? My tablet is getting completely affected by muddy water and stuff. So I should probably leave this video here. So if you really enjoyed it, sorry my speaking is a bit rough and ready, like as always, as per usual. There you go. Please give this video a very good like if you really enjoyed this video. Anyway, subscribe for more content in the future. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling like that my YouTube channel is actually kind of aging a little bit, I suppose, hey? As always, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. I've got to do other stuff or else I'm going to get kicked in the backside. Bye, guys, again. Bye.